Spectacular, the Silverstacular, is in here on the carpet because I have to have some space today. I want to show you this item that I received from the Pawn Man. So he's been on the show before. Some people love him, some people hate him. Whatever you think about him, I got something from him, and it's really, really cool. It is this. What is this rusty, crusty, nasty looking thing? This is a sword. It's not like some kind of battle sword. This is just a ceremonial sword that looks like it's from a Freemason Knights Templar kind of theme. And so a lot of people will say that the Knights Templar died off. They didn't have any kind of evolution, just done and over with, and they're not associated any way with the Freemasons. But regardless, the Freemasons tend to use some of their imagery and their symbolism. So that being said, this sword right here comes with like this little steel or whatever it's made, probably nickel scabbard. And I'm going to take it out of there. So this came with it. I think that these swords typically also had a leather little pouch or carrying case too that they came with. But very rusty, was not taken care of very well. Also, it belonged to somebody. D.A. Talifus. So I actually looked up D.A. Talifus, couldn't find the exact initials, but I did find a Don Talifus, who is actually a monk, been around this earth for about 90 years too, which puts him around the time that this right here would have been made, this sword, because this came from, I think I have it right here, the Henderson Ames Company in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Now that company right there made all sorts of swords and ceremonial gear, dress for these different organizations that had these little ceremonies. And the Freemasons and those kind of groups were ones that used the Henderson Ames Company in order to get their little ceremonial outfits going. And so that company right there, as it was, existed in like the late 1800s into the early 1900s, and then they've changed into a new company since. But this very company right here kind of goes along the timeline of when at least the D. Talifus that I ended up finding would have been possibly using something like this towards the late 1900s. So very well could have been his. I cannot find very much information. I actually reached out to him in his monk life, Father Talifus, just to see if this did belong to him or if he knew of maybe a family member that this could have belonged to, just to try to trace it back to where it came from. But you can see how like ornate, all the detail in these swords. These were very well made. I wish that I could make something like this for as cheap as I bought this for, because this only cost me about 134 bucks, or no, I'm sorry, 135 bucks from the Pawn Man. I don't know why I said 134. Prices are going up, not down. But yeah, you can see it just wasn't taken care of very well. It's got a lot of tarnish and stuff, but I'm going to keep it just like that. I don't plan to clean it up or anything. It has some sort of bone right here grip, and you can find a lot of these right here for around that price point for sale. Some are damaged, some have more little additions and not that leather piece that comes with it. It may or may not come with some of the other ones. But you can see this little knight's helmet right there on the pommel. This little chain right there. Some of the chains I've seen on other ones are broken. But yeah, it's a cool little piece. This right here, some of the etching is done a little bit, not done better, but it's actually staying around better on some of the pieces I saw. The etching here is actually really, really good. But you can see how they use a lot of like the Knights Templar kind of symbolism. Very, very cool. Very cool piece. Pawn Man also gave me a couple little extras. Nice little off-center button, which, thank you very much. Sometimes our lives are a little off-centered, so that represents that. And a little piece of silver, poured silver that he had done. So can't complain about the overall situation here. So I just thought it was fun. Not really related to what I usually do on the channel. Silver, golden coins, but I do like myself some antiques once in a while. And if I could trace this back to the actual owner of the sword, how cool would that be? So if you are out there, D.A. Talifus, or if you know who this person is, definitely have them reach out to me. Tell them I got their sword. And maybe they'll want it back. But isn't it cool? Isn't it just neat how much there is on this thing? They don't make things like this anymore, do they? I mean, this is just something like that doesn't get done like this anymore. Haven't you ever tried to sit Indian style on the floor anymore? You know, when we were younger, it was just so much easier. But now, as you get older, you start to feel like, okay, well, my leg's going numb, but it's not as easy as it used to be. Anyways, that's something else that's completely irrelevant to what we're talking about. Look at the detail in this thing. Crazy. So I could probably clean some of that rust off, no problem, but then I'm just changing the piece. I'm just going to let it be what it is. Try to keep it protected from any further rust and just appreciate it because I think it actually is really a cool piece. Is it sharp? Let's see. Nope, not sharp at all because it is a ceremonial sword, but you could poke your eye out with this thing right here. It seems pretty pointy. So watch out for the point because you will get poked. There you go. So big shout out to Pawn Man. Had him on the channel a couple times. Like I said, some people love him, some people hate him, some people unsubscribe from the channel just because they watched him and his foul little mouth. But you know what? We're all humans. We gotta be around each other whether we like each other or not. And Pawn Man is a human, believe it or not an alien. They tried to confirm it with some DNA testing. He is totally a human. So thank you, Pawn Man, for putting this little package together. It was actually kind of lovely. I really appreciate it. And I'm probably just gonna have this sword for like a little backdrop, little, you know, shelf piece. I think it looks good as it is. Unless Mr. D.A. Talifus or Mrs. Shoot comes back and says, hey, that's my sword. I really, really want that. I threw it in a lake by accident, trying to get that thing back. I got to go for now. Appreciate you for watching. Of course, Spegtacular is out.
Well, hello, everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. You know, when I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.